Wagwan guys, welcome back to another one of our episode of the Bourbon Jamaican. We got dropping nukes and Brady the Great, and we have something special out of New Riff, something old and something new. Pretty much how they're based off their little what's their little logo? They're saying, Chris.
A new riff on an old tradition.
So we got some new riff, and then we also got some of the old tradition. And we're going to bring that to you today with a special lineup. These that you see over here, check out the video with the Bookers. We're going to have to revisit that one with the trio. And look later in the week, we'll drop a video on the makers. But talk to us.
So in December of 2022, New Riff took their 6-year 100% malted rye that was bottled in bond and saved some of it back and dumped them into a Spanish Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez sherry casks and finished them for around a year, a little bit more, and released it in December of 22. That is a barrel strength, non-chill filtered, 112.7 proof. A couple of YouTube videos really liked it. I know of one that ranked it as one of the top ryes of the year. So, to please the fans, they released a batch 2 just yesterday at the distillery. So, Bourbon Jamaican went out and got a bottle. This year it's the exact same thing, except it's 111.5 proof, so about 1.2 proof lower. So we'll start with this year since it's the lower proof and compare it to the first release.
Alright.
Immediately, I just get hit with grapes.
Yeah.
Like some dark, rich grape. Some nice oak.
And this is a sherry finish.
Yep. It's a little spicy.
Yeah, definitely. Well, most of their stuff, they say they use a lot of rye, so, and
Yeah.
I think they got a rye finish one also, don't they?
Well, this is the finished rye. Yeah.
Strong on the nose.
It's got like it's almost like a chocolate covered grape. The more and more I smell it.
Brings tears to my eyes. A chocolate covered grape. That's what we're going with. Chocolate covered grape.
Glass one, the nose does not do it any justice. This is, I would say, absolutely delicious. The nose doesn't do it any justice. You get that initial sip, you get that big flavor with the chocolate, and you also get that's like a mix with the rye. That is good. I really like this one.
What are your thoughts, Chris, after one sip?
It's not a lingering finish. It's I mean, there's flavor there, right? You pick up a couple of different notes on the initial palate, but there's not like a long extended period of a finish or a burn like you, to the Jamaicans point over there, like you do get a little bit of that oakiness, spice, rye in between, but
You getting that chocolate grape?
I'm getting chocolatey. I'm coming onto the grape, but I'm not quite there yet.
Take your second sip. Like right now, my tongue is like it's cold.
I am curious to, like, for the people that called it the best rye of 2023.
Yeah, so this is this year's. I'm curious to see how it compares. When all the reviews came out, I really wanted this. It wasn't at the distillery. I had to hunt for a couple months before I got mine. I ended up getting mine in 23, even though it was a 22 release. I've only had a couple pours out of it. We've not reviewed it here before because there's really nothing else like it.
Right.
I gotta say though, off of glass one, that's awesome.
Yes.
And it's not, what I like about it is it's not dry. A lot of finished bourbons or ryes to me leave this really dry finish in the back of my throat, which I'm not a huge fan of, and I'm not getting that on this. It's like immediately, as soon as it hits my tongue, I get this like rich, like sugary grape.
Yeah. But I like this. It just spreads out like you get it. Normally you get it on the tip, but now you're starting to get on the side of your tongues, and you get that little bit of salivating.
So the complexity of it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, this is a bottle that if you get around a couple people that can drink, it's a bottle that you're probably going to kill in one night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's that easy to drink. It's not overpowered. I've had 90 proof that feels stronger than what this is right now.
Yeah.
For sure.
I guess I forgot to mention too, the MSRP for this is $68. At $68, I'm buying glass one all day long.
Yes.
This is one I wish they did it I wish this was like an every 6 months release.
Yeah.
Because this is one where when my bottle's gone, I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah. Well, we got two, so.
Yeah. So now we get to compare to glass 2, the first release. So now the glass 1, that was a fresh crack. Glass 2's been open for almost a year. Granted, it's only got a couple pores missing out of it.
Yeah, glass 2 doesn't has as great of a nose as glass 1.
I feel like that they feel similar. It's just a little bit more minute on glass 2.
Glass 2, I'm getting more like.
You don't get as much ethanol
No.
on glass 2.
And I'm getting more vanilla. Not as much fruit, more vanilla on glass 2.
Yeah.
More oak on glass 2. And like I said, I mean, I'm not 100% sure on the finish of batch 1, but batch 2 that we just got, I know they said part of it, 20% of the blend was finished for 1 year, the other 80% was finished for 15 months.
Yeah, glass 2 for me is high rye, like the burn is there, for sure. Like you get a lot more rye spice on this one. You don't get to really experience like the chocolate notes.
Glass 2 reminds me a lot of their normal 6-year bottled and bond malted rye with a touch of that grape added to it. I get that spice and that maltiness and that caramel up front like you would in the malted rye, and then I get the grape in the finish. Where glass 1, the new batch, is just like heavy sherry.
Yeah, I definitely think glass 1 is superior to glass 2. The newer one, it has a lot more character.
I would agree with that. Glass 1 is more complex, it's sweeter, it's a little more viscous, it's more complex. I say that it's better in all those categories, but it's not like...
It lacks the burn. It don't have as much heat as glass 2, which glass 2 has a lot of heat just right off the bat. But for me, I don't think... It's almost like if you're eating spicy food, right? If it's too hot, you don't really get to experience and enjoy the flavors and let them open up. Probably after a couple of initial sips, then you're starting to get hints of different stuff. But with glass 1, it's just right off the bat, the nose matches the taste. And that's what I like with it. It's just right off the bat, everything you smell is what you're tasting, and it gives you time to kind of salivate and just enjoy it.
What is Oloroso?
So Oloroso and Pedro Jimenez are both types of sherry. I haven't done my homework on it, but I remember watching a video, and there's like 4 or 5 different types of sherry, and depending on which one it is determines the dryness.
I think it's the grape, depending on which grape.
Yeah, so like Oloroso versus Pedro Jimenez, one is a lot more dry than the other one. I don't remember which is which.
So do they have kind of like you know how like Makers does their staves?
Yep.
Burn 1, burn 2, burn 3, etc. Is that kind of how that's set up?
That's how those are. Depending on the type of grape used for them, they go in a separate category and they get drier.
Yeah. So glass, I would say glass 2 has a little bit more, like a 5 char versus glass 1 would have like a 3 char.
So what I will say though is, I wouldn't just say one is a million times better than glass 2. I would pick 1 over 2 because of how sweet it is.
No.
But what I think people appreciate about glass 2 and why it was such a fan favorite is you taste the rye whiskey and then you taste the finish.
Yeah.
So with glass 1, it's so sherry heavy that if you don't like that grape taste, you're not going to like this.
I don't think that is terrible by no means, but I do agree that glass 2 is better than 1, in my own opinion.
You think 2's better than 1?
I think that 2 is better than 1.
Wow.
But I think they're both good.
You see what I mean though? Like you taste the rye whiskey and then the finish.
And which I like higher proof stuff as opposed to not that one numero uno is a big difference in proof point, right? But like I don't know, like I like the rye forward more than I like the subtle sweetness, right?
Yeah. and that's what a lot of people appreciated about that one. I for tonight will pick the new one, Glass 1, just because I love how rich that grape taste is to me. But Glass 2 is no slouch. It's got a mustiness to it that I like.
That's kind of what I like.
Yeah,
it's like on the back end of it, you get the mustiness. But like I don't.
Even when you smell it, it smells like a rick house.
Even with that being said, I don't know if I would have chose Glass 2 as my rye of the year of last year, personally. But there's a lot of better YouTubers out there that have a better palate. I got that trash palate, you know what I mean?
Oh, come on, you gotta be confident.
You got that beginner's palate.
I got that trash palate, but either way, like my personal opinion is Glass 2 is there, but it's not my rye of 2023.
I think if we let one open up, it's a fresh crack, so let's let it open up for a little bit and then revisit. We might say different.
I'm curious if it'll get less sweet as it opens up.
Which would be a negative.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be a positive thing, and that would be a negative thing.
I don't think it'll get less sweet. I'm
just curious.
I think it'll open up more because normally, Pete, when you open it, like you get a glass of wine, you get a big old wine glass. You aerate it, right? And let it open up so they want you to swig it.
Yep.
And just let it open up. So I think give it time, open up, and we'll revisit it at another time, probably in a live, just to see. We got a ton of new Riff stuff. Maybe one day we'll just do another. We did a couple new Riff special. Maybe we'll bust these back out and do another live just to see if by the time everybody kind of get their hands on it and it gets everywhere, just to see where everybody's thoughts are.
What if we just start bringing bottles from distillery specific places and start doing videos?
Like a distillery video?
Correct.
That'd be cool.
That's gonna make for a long winter.
Well, I mean, obviously we can't bring the entire, like, new Riff, we probably have 30 bottles now, between all of us. But like, we pick out a couple favorite from each distillery that we really enjoy and then bring it, you know.
I'm down.
And what I will say too, since this is finished, it's definitely going to open. Like we saw that with the makers.
Yeah.
Anything finished or blended is going to need time. So this will be interesting to see at the end of the year when we start comparing it to some of our favorite ryes, like that Prideful Goat Rum and the Prideful Goat 8 Year and the Sagamore and all those good ryes and the Jack. All those good ryes we've had this year, and we break this out to compare at the end of the year. How's it changed? Is going to be the real question.
I'm trying very, we're getting off subject here, but I'm trying very hard not to drink all of my 2022, so we can put up the 22 versus the 23 versus the 24, yeah.
That'd be a good
all
one.
the bookers.
Yeah, we'll probably get a half ounce to an ounce each off of that
I could do
2022 Lumberyard.
Yeah.
There's literally probably, like for me, there's only one glass.
We were joking about that. So my buddy has a 2019 that I didn't try, and that was one of the better ones for 2019. And he asked to make a trade. And I was telling Brady earlier, it would be fun if I could start getting all the booklets because they come out with 4, so that's a lot.
We don't have a 2020 or a 2021.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. We can start looking. They're around, but it's just a matter of finding them.
You can get a couple of the older ones at the Good Spirits over there in Dixie, but they want 140 for them.
Yeah, that's gonna be the other.
But you can go all the way back. I think they had some from 2021 and 2020.
Yeah, so that'll be some good ones to get, and then this each one. God forbid if I didn't ruin that video, man.
Hey, so
that was a good video.
with us being on this new Riff, we'll bring it in and bring it to a close. Let us know what's your favorite. You know, if you got to try both years, let us know what you think on them. Obviously, if not, we're glad to bring it to you and kind of give you an idea in case you do run across it out there in the wild, whether you're in Kentucky or other states across the country. Damn, I lost my train of thought.
It is supposed to start shipping to retailers in the next couple weeks. How abundant it's going to be, I don't know. The Bourbon Jamaican said they had a lot of it at the distillery.
Yeah.
I'm hoping they have some more Tuesday. I might have to get another.
They should have. I ended up getting lucky. I picked up the 8 year. I can't remember which one of y'all had got the 8 year when it was online only, and I'm telling you, it was phenomenal. We didn't get to try it when we did the tour because they said they were out. But I think Brady ended up getting the bottle.
Yep.
And yesterday I walked in and like I seen, I was like, man, y'all got the 8 year, and they're like, yeah, pick it up, but it didn't have a 10 year, so they released a 10 year that was online only. So
I like that. Honestly, I like the old new Riff better than I did the 8 year,
yeah,
in my opinion. We may need to revisit that, but
We do.
the battle, we can do
the
that.
rye was the old new Riff rye was better than the old new Riff bourbon though, as well.
I think it's different. I think the bourbon was better than the
Both
rye.
of y'all agreed, but like me and Greg, we both agreed that me and Greg White, we all agreed that the rye was better than the bourbon.
I think we need to have Greg over and do a 4-panel just to see if we can find that tiebreaker.
I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
Greg, you're on deck. We need to get forward.
Anybody that's made it this far in the video, if you got to try that headliner, let us know. We all agreed. Brady got to go up there to New Riff and try it the day that it released. He wasn't too impressed upon it. Not that our palates align always, but our palates are similar enough to where if Brady says that it's not good, we're not going to go spend $250 on a bottle of headliners when there's as you guys have heard in previous videos over here, the new Rip and Rave is the 15-year Russells, which is also $250.
The Russells.
And Russell's is I can already tell you is shitting on New Riff's headliner. Just while we're on the
he would know. He's the only one that would know.
well, I mean,
I would
just
definitely get like 10 bottles of the Russells.
15 year versus the 10 year, and then on top of that, one of the main selling points for me why I didn't buy the headliner is it's only 45% 10 year.
Yeah.
So
Should've at
like
least
it's
been
not even
120.
halfway. You know what I mean? It's not even 50% 10
Yeah.
years. So I can't justify spending $250 on a bottle from New Riff that is, let's be realistic guys, it's probably a 6-year bourbon,
Yeah.
you know, overall.
6 to 7 year. They're normally, I think their highest is.
Right now it's an 8-year. And then the headliner is 45% 10 year, but that's not a true 10 year. Like
So
it's not
it's
even half.
Yeah.
So a couple things, if you could comment, let us know 23 or 24 if you've got to try both. And of course, fill us with your comments on the headliners. I'm curious to see what you New Riff fans out there think of the headliner.
Alright, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching. I hope y'all enjoyed the video, and we look forward to bringing you more content and our true